What is the biggest lie Hollywood ever told you about dinosaurs? For many, it's the image of a small, frilled creature that spits venom. That scene created an icon, but it also buried the truth about one of the first truly giant predators to ever walk the earth. Today, we peel back the layers of fiction to reveal the 23-foot-long, 1,000-pound reality of the real Dilophosaurus. The rain is falling in heavy, fat drops, turning the volcanic soil to a slick, dark mud. You're surrounded by a forest of towering ferns and ancient cicades, their leaves glistening in the gloom of an early Jurassic twilight. A strange, chirping call echoes through the humid air, a sound no human ear has ever truly heard. The ground is still, for now. This is a world of giants, a planet ruled by creatures of impossible scale and majesty. Ever wonder what it would feel like to stand in the shadow of one? To feel the air vibrate with its passing? That feeling is what we chase. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and which prehistoric creature fascinates you the most. Now let's journey back in time and uncover the story of a lost world. For many, the name Dilophosaurus conjures a very specific image. You know the one. A creature, no taller than a man, emerging from the dark with a curious, almost bird-like gait. Then, a sudden dramatic transformation. A vibrant, rattling frill expands around its neck, followed by a spray of thick, black venom. It's a terrifying, unforgettable movie monster. A moment of pure cinematic magic that cemented this dinosaur in the public imagination. It is, however, a complete fabrication, a brilliant piece of fiction, but fiction nonetheless. The story told by Stone and Bone is far more compelling. To find the real animal, you have to peel back the layers of Hollywood invention. Forget the frill, forget the venom, and most importantly, forget the size. The creature you've been shown is a shadow, a downsized imposter of the true predator that prowled this ancient landscape. The real Dilophosaurus needed no such theatrical gimmicks. It was one of the first truly large carnivorous dinosaurs to walk the earth, a hunter of formidable size and power that stood at the dawn of the Age of Giants. Its story isn't one of trickery and venom, but of evolutionary innovation and dominance in a world recovering from a mass extinction. So let's adjust the picture in your mind. Erase the human-sized creature and replace it with an animal stretching nearly 23 feet from snout to tail. That's the length of a large crocodile or a modern moving truck. Standing before it, you wouldn't be looking it in the eye. Your gaze would barely reach its hip. You would have to crane your neck back to see a head held nearly 6 feet off the ground, crowned by a feature far stranger than any fictional frill. This was no lightweight. Fossil evidence suggests a weight of up to 1,000 pounds, comparable to a large polar bear. Its footsteps wouldn't have been a light patter on wet leaves, but a heavy, ground-trembling thud that announced its presence with authority. This was a predator built for pursuit. Its body, though large, was surprisingly slender and athletic. Think less of a heavyweight brawler like Tyrannosaurus, and more of a powerful, long-limbed runner. Its powerful hind legs, with 3-toed feet ending in formidable claws, could have propelled it across the Jurassic floodplains at considerable speed. Its long, muscular tail, held stiffly out behind it, wasn't a dragging appendage but a dynamic counterbalance, allowing it to make swift, agile turns as it chased down prey. This anatomical design reveals an active, energetic hunter, a stark contrast to the slow, cold-blooded monsters of early paleontological art. And its arms were far from useless. Unlike the famously tiny arms of later, larger theropods, the forelimbs of Dilophosaurus were relatively long and well-developed. They ended in three-fingered hands, each finger tipped with a sharp, recurved claw. These were not just for show. They were functional tools for grasping, holding, and tearing. You can almost picture it running down a smaller dinosaur using its powerful legs for the chase and its clawed hands to secure the struggling meal. The real animal was a more complete and capable predator than Hollywood ever imagined. A perfectly balanced machine of speed and power. But for all this physical power, the most defining and mysterious features sat atop its skull. This is where the animal gets its name, Dilophosaurus, which literally means two-crested lizard. Rising from its snout were two incredibly thin, delicate, parallel crests of bone. You have to picture them not as weapons. They were far too fragile for combat, but as vibrant billboards. Likely sheathed in keratin, the same material that makes up a bird's beak, these structures could have been awash in brilliant color. Imagine seeing them silhouetted against a rising Jurassic sun, flashing with reds, blues, or yellows, like the antlers of a modern stag or the spectacular tail of a peacock. These crests were almost certainly for display. They were a way to recognize another of your kind from a distance, to intimidate a rival without risking injury, or to attract a mate. This wasn't a mindless monster. It was a complex animal with a social life we can only begin to guess at. Below these spectacular crests lay another feature that has long puzzled scientists: its mouth. For years, paleontologists noted a strange kink, or notch, in its upper jaw, just behind the front teeth. This gap led many to believe that Dilophosaurus had a weak bite, that it was perhaps a scavenger, unable to tackle large, living prey. It seemed like a flaw, a weakness, in an otherwise capable predator. But science is a story of constant reevaluation. What was once seen as a weakness is now understood as a clever specialization. That notch wasn't a bug, it was a feature. When the jaws closed, this dental arrangement would act like a trap. The front teeth could secure the prey, while the teeth behind the notch delivered the powerful bite, preventing smaller, struggling animals from wriggling free. It's a design seen in modern fish-eating crocodiles, allowing for a secure grip on slippery prey. So rather than being a scavenger, this hunter possessed a highly specialized toolkit. Its jaw was perfect for dispatching the smaller dinosaurs and other lizard-like creatures that shared its world. It didn't need crushing force like a T-Rex. It had precision and a grip that wouldn't let go. And what a world it was that required such a specialized hunter. To truly understand Dilophosaurus, you have to walk the ground it walked, breathe the air it breathed. Your journey takes you to the early Jurassic, approximately 193 million years ago. This is a pivotal moment in the history of life. The planet is still healing from the colossal Triassic-Jurassic extinction event that wiped out many of the strange reptiles that came before. In this recovering world, the dinosaurs are seizing their chance, diversifying and growing to sizes never before seen. Dilophosaurus is on the vanguard of this new dynasty of giants. You are standing in the Kayenta Formation of modern-day Arizona, but the landscape is unrecognizable. There is no vast, arid desert canyon here. Instead, you find a sprawling floodplain crossed by braided rivers. For part of the year, seasonal monsoons cause these rivers to swell, flooding the plains and nourishing a vibrant ecosystem along their banks. You see forests of petrified wood ancestors like conifers and a thick undergrowth of ferns and cycads. Then, during the long dry season, the rivers shrink, leaving behind a semi-arid world of cracked mudflats and sandy dunes. Active volcanoes in the distance occasionally blanket the landscape in a fine layer of ash, which would later help preserve the bones of the creatures living here. This is the world Dilophosaurus ruled. As the largest known carnivore of its time and place, it was the undisputed apex predator. You can almost hear the rustle in the undergrowth as a small, armored dinosaur like Scutellosaurus scurries for cover. This creature, only about 4 feet long and covered in bony scutes, would have been a perfect meal for a hunter with a grappling bite. You might also see herds of the prosauropod Ceratosaurus, a larger, more challenging prey, browsing on the tough vegetation. In this dynamic environment, Dilophosaurus was a keystone species, its presence on the hunt shaping the behavior and evolution of every other animal in its domain. But this living, breathing world vanished long ago, and our only window into it is through the fossils left behind in that ancient volcanic soil. The story of our modern understanding begins in the 1940s, when the first skeleton of this magnificent animal was unearthed from the Arizona rock. At first, without the skull's signature crests fully prepared, it was mistaken for another type of large predator. It was only later, when those paper-thin arches of bone were revealed, that paleontologists realized they had something entirely new, a creature that demanded its own name, a name that celebrated its most spectacular feature. This discovery was a landmark, offering a precious glimpse into the dawn of the dinosaurs' reign and providing a blueprint for the giant carnivores that would follow millions of years later. And this brings our journey full circle. Back to the movie monster. After everything you have now seen, the true scale of the animal, its specialized jaw, its magnificent crests, you know the truth. The fossil record is unequivocal. There is no evidence for an expandable neck frill. There are no bone structures to support it, no hint of such a feature. Likewise, the idea of spitting venom, while dramatic, is pure fiction. There are no grooves in the teeth, no ducts in the skull that would indicate venom glands. These were creative choices, made to craft a memorable cinematic moment and to distinguish the animal from other predators on screen. And while they created an icon, they also obscured the far more incredible reality. The truth is that Dilophosaurus didn't need any tricks. It was a 23-foot-long, 1,000-pound pioneer, one of Earth's first truly great predatory dinosaurs. And its real story is infinitely more fascinating. The rain has long since stopped, and the world of the two-crested lizard is now silent, buried under millions of years of rock and time. The bones that once carried this giant across the Jurassic floodplains now rest behind glass, silent storytellers of a lost age. To stand before them is to stand at the edge of an immense ocean of time, feeling the faint echo of its footsteps in the deep stillness of the present. These creatures are more than just movie monsters or museum displays. They are a profound reminder of the planet's incredible, ever-changing story. They challenge us to look past the fiction, to dig deeper, and to find the awe-inspiring truth that is so often grander than any myth. The age of dinosaurs may be over, but the wonder it inspires will live on forever.